everyone. I'm really excited about the chicken and waffles. That was a highlight of my morning. So again, my name is Bert McKelso. I'm known as a technology expert. I own a small tech company. I shouldn't say small. I own a tech company called Integral, based here in Kansas City, and we have the same business model as Geek Squad, except we're not geeks, you know. And I hope I don't look like a geek out here, because that's definitely not the image that I'm trying to portray. So today we're talking about social media resolutions that everyone needs to make in 2023. Yeah, we don't have the clicker today, so Julie is actually acting as a clicker. So everyone has their resolutions that they want to follow in the new year. And in this digital marketing age that we live in, you've got to start making resolutions for your social media channels too. I know it's February, but it's never too late to get started with your own resolutions. Because truth be told, I realize most of you probably made resolutions, but show of hands, how many of you have kept your resolutions that you made December 31st? See? Never too late to start. So, during this presentation, we're gonna play a quick trivia game called Myth or Fact. What I'm gonna do is show an image on the screen, and you can either say it's a myth or is it a fact, just to kind of break up the monotony of this presentation. So, take it away. Myth or fact, LinkedIn is over 20 years old. Is that a myth or is that a fact?
Fact.
I love it, I love it. I love myth, fact. So it's a fact. LinkedIn's one of the oldest social media platforms out there. And out of all of the social media platforms, it has evolved the most. So take it away, Julie. What we got, number one? So cross-post on social media like your life depends on it. And folks, I've got an embarrassing thing to share with you. I'm a felon. Like a Facebook felon, right? Ah! Shannon got it, yes, I am a Facebook felon. Multiple times. And one of the challenges is if you get locked out of social media accounts, then you're not able to engage on that one account. So if you focus only on Facebook and you get locked out, you're done. You can't market across digital platforms. I mean, you can, but you need to be cognizant of the fact that you cannot focus on one platform anymore. Twitter's in disarray. Facebook is jacked up. I didn't want to use the real word, but man, it's a mess. It's you don't know what's going to happen to TikTok.
Right.
Yep, because it's based out of China. They're spying on us, like all of the other social media platforms. And all it takes is one mistake for you to get locked down and to not be able to post. And one other social media channel or digital marketing channel that I want to mention that you need to cross-post on as well is email. I bet you your social media game is awesome, but your email game sucks, right? Because we've fallen into the trap with digital marketing that we treat email more as, hey, let's get somebody to sign up for our service. We don't concentrate on the fact that we need to be developing relationships via email like we do on social media. So cross-post. And one of the best ways to cross-post on social media is for you to, and everyone's gonna probably hate this, if you're a rock star at Facebook, for example, or let's just say you're a TikToker, take that content and make sure that you're sharing it on all of your other social media channels. Show of hands. LinkedIn users, how many people have seen I can't believe there's not that many more LinkedIn users.
Wow.
Are you serious? You're smoking some crack if you're not on LinkedIn. You better get on the LinkedIn game. But how many people have noticed on LinkedIn that you start to see Instagram Reels showing up on LinkedIn? That you're seeing people post their TikTok videos on LinkedIn. You gotta mix it up. You've gotta cross the sauce, because if you're dipping in one sauce, you've gotta mix it up because you don't know what the other sauces have in store for you. So don't limit yourself, because if you have what happened to me as far as Facebook, then your whole social media game is gone. Thank goodness I have a heavy presence on LinkedIn, that I have a heavy presence on Instagram, even on Twitter. You've got to cross-post like your life depends on it, because no telling what is gonna happen to the social media platform that you favor. Show of hands, how many of my Twitter friends are out there? Good, that's what I like seeing. I see a lot of people, they're like, Twitter, man, I ain't on Twitter. And then, like, if their Facebook account gets locked down and they're all of a sudden, they're like Jim Kirk from Star Trek, my God, Scotty, what am I gonna do? Like, what idiot, you should have been cross-posting on social media so you don't have to worry about it. So, and it's hard to get across on multiple platforms because a lot of us stick in that old school framework where we're like, man, I need to come up with different content for all of my different social media channels. And that's just not simply the case anymore. People don't care. All people care is that you show up or that they see you on social media. Quick fact, I don't know how many of you knew this, but on Instagram, did you realize that out of the 900 million people that are on LinkedIn, that only 1% are actually posting content? Think about that. LinkedIn is the lurkers network. It's like a bunch of stalkers out there checking it. Because I mean, it's crazy. Like around town, there'll be people that come up and are like, oh my God, Bert, no, I know you from LinkedIn. And I'm like, who are you? And second, why aren't you commenting on my post on LinkedIn? I love that they scared. But no, seriously, cross-post, cross-post, cross-post. And cross-post some more. That way you have a presence on all channels, so if something happens to, say, TikTok, or to Meta, because I'm talking about Facebook and Instagram, then you still have a digital presence online. I love that. I just said that. Don't ignore LinkedIn. Next slide. Because LinkedIn has been around for a long time. Next slide, Julie. And the challenge is LinkedIn is your second CRM. Many of you didn't realize that, or maybe many of you do realize that. Because it's great to go to networking events and collect the business cards. But what happens if someone makes a career change? You lost contact with them. But on LinkedIn, you haven't, because what's the first thing people are gonna do if they make a career change? They're gonna change or update their LinkedIn profile. There have been people that I know that have been habitual career hoppers, that they're always changing. So you email out of the blue one day to stay in contact with them, and it bounces back, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But if you connect with people with your CRM and use LinkedIn as well, then you will always stay in contact with people. True story, if you're on LinkedIn and you need to look at a connection to see how to contact them, you can always go to that connection and look at the section where you can connect with people and find out what their current contact information is. You can update your CRM and you can always stay in contact with them, because if you connect with someone on LinkedIn, you're connected forever. Even after you die. True story, how many of you are connected with the dearly departed still on LinkedIn? I'm not, I hate to say it, you guys are probably gonna start booing me. Soon as someone passes away, I end that connection. Because I mean, there's no LinkedIn connection that's gonna get you to the Almighty, or wherever, Valhalla, wherever heavenly place you believe in. It's not gonna happen, so I go ahead and clear those out. You know, I've got 18,000 connections on LinkedIn, so I'm not at that point where I'm like, I need to desperately hold on and have that numbers count. Another good thing about LinkedIn is it is what Facebook was 5 years ago. I want you to quit thinking of LinkedIn as the business-only network and understand that it's a truly powerful social media tool that you can use in order to help develop your business, and if you're digital marketers for other people, help your clients develop business with other people. Business profile on LinkedIn, anyone? Have you set one up? I will tell you it's a good idea, but will tell you what it won't do. Business profiles on LinkedIn won't give you the SEO recognition that your personal profile on LinkedIn does. Have any of you Googled yourself to see what comes up? What's the first thing that comes up normally if you Google yourself?
Facebook and Instagram.
Someone said Facebook. Really? What?
LinkedIn.
Yeah,
comes up.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn, well, Twitter sometimes, but LinkedIn has great SEO reach. So get on LinkedIn, set your profile up, and more importantly, if you're working for yourself or working for your customer base, make sure that you're setting up great SEO for them as well. So whatever industry you're in, make sure that's in your key line or your brief description on LinkedIn, so that when people are Googling IT people or digital marketers or whatever, your name will come up first in the list as far as those connections are concerned. Because that description will work in the LinkedIn platform, but it also works with outside of the LinkedIn algorithm and profile as well. So make sure that you're updating your LinkedIn profile, and make sure that you're constantly posting to LinkedIn on a regular basis. Make sure that if you're looking at the great times to post on LinkedIn, it's usually 6 to 9 in the morning, and of course, any time after lunch, because after lunch, we're done. We don't want to do anything. I'm in a food coma because I decided to go to lunch with my friends, and all I want to do is scroll and be entertained by the content that is shown on social media. So have at it. Now this is a tough one. We were talking about this earlier. How many of you changed your passwords or your customers' passwords for their social media accounts recently? Like within the past month? That's horrible, guys. I'm not trying to get on you, but cyber criminals are always after social media accounts. You really have to be weary about that. We've all seen the stories of people talking about duplicate accounts. Why, you beat me to the punch, dude. Yeah, you're getting it, yeah. We've all seen where people have had duplicate Facebook accounts show up, duplicate Instagram accounts pop up, and unfortunately, there is no tech support that you can reach at any of the social media platforms. So you need to make sure that you're taking steps to secure your social media accounts. One of the best things that you can do for your social media accounts is to set up two-step or two-factor authentication. Basically, that means that you are having two ways to log into your social media accounts. So the first method obviously is going to be your password. The second method of that authentication is going to be an alert that comes in via email or text message to your phone, letting you know that you are the one that is signing into the account. So let's say a cyber criminal over in, we'll just say China for the sake of it, is trying to log into your social media account. You're gonna get an alert if you set up two-factor or two-step authentication on your social media accounts. It'll be on your phone and it'll say, hey, Burton, are you currently in Beijing, China, trying to log into Facebook? I would be like, no, that ain't me. So then I can deny that request, and then the criminal isn't able to get into your account. Now you should, if this happens, make sure that you go and change your social media password, but the two-step authentication is going to prevent criminals from actually commandeering your account. Now the question probably is, why would anyone want my social media account? Can anyone just shout out an answer why criminals would want to duplicate or take over your Facebook or LinkedIn account?
Financial.
Scam your family.
Scam your family, get into your accounts with social engineering, all of the above. And especially with cybercrime, it's a numbers game. Because cybercrime is a human problem. I hate to tell you this, if you've been hacked, probably your fault. Because you were using weak passwords. Because you fell for a phone call that came across your mobile phone, or even your landline. You fell for a scamming email that was saying you're gonna win a brand new car, just as if you were a contestant on The Price is Right. You've got to be more cognizant about the emails that come in, the text messages that come into your inbox, into your phone, and make sure that they're not scammy posts. Because again, for criminals, it's a numbers game. We want more people that we can trick into falling to our messaging scams, to our email scams, and even our text messaging scams. So make sure that you change your password and to set up your two-factor authentication. In fact, when it comes to passwords, you have to stop using passwords and start using passphrases instead. Passphrases are basically two unrelated words that create a strong and secure passwords. One of my favorites would be Purple Turkey 2018 exclamation point. Or you could use, I almost said Dirty Rocks, but rocks are almost dirty all the time, aren't they? Muddy Rock would not be a good one. Purple Dinosaur is not a good one. Can anyone guess why? And who else? Everyone always says Barney. Let you think for a few seconds.
Dino
It
from
is
the
a cartoon.
Flintstones?
I heard it.
Dino from the Flintstones?
Dino from the Flintstones is a purple dinosaur. If you need help creating a secure passphrase, there's a website, and I want you to write this website down. It's called useapassphrase.com. It will automatically generate a secure passphrase for your online accounts, your social media accounts. Because I know many of you raised your hands and said, oh yeah, Burton, I'm on it. I changed my password last month, 2 years ago. I know that's the real answer. Yeah, I changed it last January of 2020 during the pandemic. It doesn't, well, that's 3 years ago. That doesn't work. You've got to change them on a fairly regular basis, and if you're looking for a timetable as far as passwords or changing passphrases, you probably want to do it every quarter, just to make sure that criminals don't have access to your stuff. So we talked about social engineering, so you can go ahead and change that, Julie. We talked about passphrases. How about free email? Horrible, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's guilty of using Gmail for business.
Yeah.
But did you know using a free email account for your social media, which you have to use, can lead to your account getting hacked? Meaning that not only should you change your social media passwords, you need to change those free email accounts that you're logging in to those social media accounts as well. Julie. Not that I'm saying that you should use an old school password keeper, but you've got to use a password keeper for your social media accounts and every online account. Many of you are probably like, I'm not using a password keeper since LastPass was hacked 2 months ago. And everyone's aware of that, correct? LastPass is a online password keeper, but instead, what you can use is your favorite browser. So it doesn't matter if you use Safari, or Chrome, or Opera, or Brave. Am I forgetting one? Firefox. They all have password keepers built in. And the great advantage of using a password keeper is that it will alert you when your password is on the dark web. So if you see those alerts that says, hey, your password's been compromised, that means someone actually has access to your easy to use password 123. And then you need to go in and change it for your online account. And if you get that alert on your browser that says, hey, do you want to store this password? The answer is always, Shannon, can I finish? The answer is yes. It's yes. You want to store it in your browser so that way you can always log into your social media accounts without having issues at all. How do criminals get your information? Has anyone ever heard of haveibeenpwned.com, the website? Only one person, I figured as much. I got a challenge for you. Go to haveibeenpwned.com. It's a website that will let you know if your credentials, meaning your password, your phone number, and your email address have been leaked on the dark web. And the website is haveibeenpwned.com. No question mark, just haveibeenpwned.com. Once you get to the site, you can enter your email address, your phone number, because remember, for a lot of social media accounts, Julie, you got ahead of me. You can see if your passwords have been leaked on the web. And so I'm kind of curious as we do this next myth or fact, have you been pwned? And if you've been pwned, what you need to do is to change the password to that email account immediately. If your phone number has been leaked on the dark web, you've got a serious problem, because how easy is it to change your phone number? It ain't easy at all. So I'm kind of curious, if you're gonna look up on a website, just shout out, I've been pwned, or I have not been pwned online. Okay, Julie, let's go to our next slide, which is myth or fact. Myth or fact? Yeah, you can change it. Oh my gosh. Musically, everyone's like, what is Musically? Musically, or let's put it this way. Yes, Musically has been around for since 2016 and is currently TikTok. Is that a myth or is that a fact? You guys know your stuff. Everyone normally gets this wrong. Like, what the heck is Musically? Go ahead, Julie. All right, so social media is all about developing relationships. It really is, and I hope everyone here realizes that. So as we talked about earlier, LinkedIn is the lurkers network where people will just look at your stuff. They'll scroll by, they won't click, and they'll just see you pop up. But what you need to ultimately embrace in 2023 as far as your social media accounts is to make sure that you're developing strong relationships with the people that you're connecting with. Yes, the algorithm is good because it definitely shows you people that are interacting with your post, but it's not showing you the people that are just looking at your social media posts and just trying to peep what you're doing. You probably didn't know this, there's a lot of haters out there that are still following you, people that for some reason or another, they don't like you. But what better way to show them that you're rocking the show than to let them see how you're succeeding in social media? So there's multiple ways that you can help develop those relationships on social media. LinkedIn just rolled out a feature called Celebrations. Has anyone seen that yet? Celebrations allows you to look at your network to see who's celebrating work anniversaries, celebrating birthdays, and there's something else that I forget that it does. But any achievement that your network is, thank you. Yeah, you've changed positions, which I don't know. Sometimes you have to be weary on that one because if people change jobs, they may be just updating their LinkedIn record. So those I leave alone.
I wanna know how many people on LinkedIn actually update it, kinda like that 9 million number for IG and only 1% use it, cause there's a few people who just forget.
Yeah.
Their job is like 10 years old.
So the question is that I wonder how many people update their job on LinkedIn. Probably nobody, but it's the thought that counts. So even though someone may have a work anniversary at a job that they haven't been at for years, you could just say, hey, congratulations, maybe you're here or not, but I want you to know that I'm thinking about you because you can personalize those messages. It's all about the touches that you have in social media. Same thing like wishing happy birthday to somebody who's taking a dirt nap. I mean, maybe you have a family member that's monitoring that account, but it's a good way to have a contact. I made that mistake a couple of times. I mean, people were actually nice enough to say, oh, well, thank you, Harold is deceased, but we appreciate you sending us this opportunity. So LinkedIn, Facebook have the happy birthday post. So build those relationships. Tag people in posts when you see that they've done something, or if you haven't seen them post in a while, because we know how goofy that algorithm is. Someone may pop up in your feed that you haven't seen for a while, so tag them. And make sure that if somebody is sharing relevant content, that you share that information out there. Michael, did you have a question? You had your hand up. Oh.
It was a great.
You were like, I thought you were, maybe you're stretching. Doing the matrix, you know? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you can't pay attention to that algorithm anymore. It comes in handy, and sometimes it just doesn't really make a lot of sense as far as what's going on, you know? But friendships, that's what you should focus on when it comes to all of your social media accounts, and making sure that you build the foundation, because it's the content that you share on social media that's gonna help build those strong relationships. And of course, once you develop relationships with people, then they're going to want to do business with you as a digital marketer or with your customer base. There you have it. So, oh my gosh. Every time I see Cuff It, oh my gosh, if you want a funny laugh, yours truly tried to do the Cuff It dance. And I finally said, forget it. It sucked, and I went ahead and posted it anyway. Anyway, it got pretty good, but yeah, you definitely want to apply the Cuff It challenge to all of the social media platforms, whereas you're doing you're doing what you're not necessarily trying to do, be viral, but you're also trying to have fun with your social media posts. Just out of curiosity, does anyone know what cuff it means? No one knows Beyonce's Cuff It song? No one in here knows what it means? Anyone's ready to take a guess? Cuff it means own it. Relationship-wise, it means like you are totally infatuated with somebody, but you want to cuff them because you want to be in a stronger relationship. When I talk about doing the Cuff It challenge on social media, not only am I saying have fun with your post on social media, not be so serious and not market, but you definitely want to own your social media channel and make it your own. Make it unique, make it funny, make it stand out so that people know who you are, what you do, and how you're going to be able to help them. So the other aspect of doing the Cuff It challenge on all your social media platforms, this means that you don't always want to jump on those trends, especially on TikTok, the dancing trends that you see. I was showing someone earlier a post of a lady who does commercial real estate. And with every one of her videos, she dances, she's a good dancer, but she's talking about how awesome commercial real estate is. The two don't work together. I mean, obviously you're supposed to engage with relevant content and make it fun too, but when you look at Courtney's post, you're like, where are we going with this? So don't always follow the trends. Make it your own as far as your social media platforms are concerned. And I had a customer who was upset because their social media account got hacked. Coming to me, should I go to the police? What can I do? And I wanted to say, well, you should have made a stronger passphrase for your account, so this wouldn't happen, because I know you probably haven't changed your password for Facebook since you created your account. So she's moaning and whining about this, which brought me to this thing that we all need to be aware when it comes to social media. You don't own it.
Right.
It's never been yours. You're just renting the space. The whole goal with your social media accounts is to get people back to your website and of course capture their emails so that you can market to them on a platform that is definitely yours, your own. You own your domain, I hope. You own your email, I hope, unless you're using Gmail for business. And you don't own that Gmail account either. Even if you're paying for, well, I take that back. If you're paying for Google Workspace, you own it, because it's your domain. But if you're just using that gmail.com, that is not your space, it is rented. So when you're in your social media posts, you've got to get people back to your website so that you can take control. How do you do that? Well, one of the best ways to do it is through blog posts. So how many of you are taking, at least on LinkedIn, taking advantage of the blog feature on LinkedIn? I love that.
Articles?
Yeah, yeah, you got me, Shannon. Yeah, the articles, you have to post blogs or share your blog on LinkedIn in order to get back. If you have a blog or a weekly newsletter, share it on all of your social media platforms, but I hope we all realize at this point, you're never supposed to share links in social media. You've got to share them in the comment section so that the algorithm doesn't put it down to where no one sees it. So always remember, you never own social media. You never own it, nor should you treat social media like you own it, like it's mine. So if your accounts get hacked, don't get upset. Or if they shut you down because you shared some offensive meme, you can't get upset about that, because it's not your space. And I love when people try to argue about social media and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this to my account. You just gotta have it. That's all good. Yeah. This is a fun one that's coming up. But anyway, you never own it. So make sure that you are getting people back to the space where you own it. All social media accounts have QR codes, right? Did you know this? I hope you did.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Julie, let's see. There we go. So that's LinkedIn QR code. Feel free to screen capture it if you know how to. But also, quick question. Does everyone know how to get to their LinkedIn QR code?
It changed.
No, they didn't change it. No, they didn't. Okay, does everyone have the LinkedIn app on their phone?
Yes.
Open up LinkedIn. I was reaching for my phone, but guess where it's at? It's on the tripod there, so I can't do it. So once you're in LinkedIn, click on the search option at the very top, and off to the right, there should be a little QR code looking screen. Click on it. It will open up your LinkedIn QR code. Now, a lot of you out there may have the QR code for yourself, where you're like, I'm Burton Badass. I'm gonna pull out my QR code and have you scan it so that you can see all my stuff. I hate that for the simple fact that the only people, or the only contacts that I keep in my phone are my customer base and my family members. Potential customers, I have another CRM that I use other than LinkedIn to do that. So the good thing about the LinkedIn QR code, like a lot of them, you can show your QR code and you can scan someone else's QR code. So at the top of the QR code screen, there's an option where you can click on scan. And it will allow you to use your your smartphone camera to capture a QR code. Julie, what about TikTok? Not TikTok, that's Instagram. Do you know Instagram had QR codes too? I was like, yeah, I do that. So if you want to get to your Instagram QR code, you just go to your picture on your main Instagram screen, and then from the drop-down menu, there should be an option that says QR code. I don't have it memorized, so I may be a little bit off, but anyway, you've got an Instagram QR code that works just like your LinkedIn QR code. And then finally, TikTok has QR codes. And the reason I'm bringing these up is because through social, even though you don't own the platforms, everyone that you know is gonna be on some social media account, and it's like your forever connection. Oh my God. But anyway, connect with QR codes. Carry business cards, but also take advantage of those QR codes on social media accounts. And it's easier to do it when you're face-to-face for the simple fact that people have difficult spellings for their social media accounts. And rather than sitting there trying to figure them out, it's easier to connect with a QR code and get instant access to those people. And finally, oh, this is the last slide. Social media is addicting. And truth be told, I hate social media. I hate it. I use it, but I hate it. But you've got to take a break from social media from time to time. I was pointing. And unplug. You've got to take a break at least once a day, or not once a day, but one day a week as far as social media is concerned. Truth be told, when I unplug, I just put my phone down at night. I'm home, I'm done. I'm not getting on social media, I'm not talking to anybody. But you've got to unplug, and you've got, if you're marketing for someone else, you've got to let them know that they've got to unplug from social media. It's addicting. There's a process to it. Yes, it's a necessary animal, but at the same time, your brain needs a break from all of that noise that comes into social media. It will upset you because of what people are posting. It's just a mind drag. Causes you to fog up. So take a break every now and then, it's okay. None of those posts are going anywhere at all. You can always scroll back through later on and find out what you missed out on. So don't suffer from FOMO. You're missing out. Make sure that you're taking a break so that your mind has a break as well. So final myth or fact. Oh my gosh. No, it's not a QR code for Tinder. Myth or fact, the co-founder of Tinder was born and raised in Overland Park, Kansas. Is that a myth or is that a fact? So what's the general consensus, myth or fact? Because we finally got a myth. It's a fact. And whoever said it at this table ruined it. Yes, the fact that I brought it up. Jonathan Badeen, the co-creator of Tinder, was born and raised in Overland Park, Kansas. So there's a little interesting trivia fact for you. So to wrap things up as far as your resolutions for social media in 2023, protect your accounts at all costs, because this hacking of social media accounts is never going to end, especially the more followers that you have. One of the things that I failed to mention, at least on Facebook, you can hide your friends list, meaning that outsiders can't see who you're connected to help protect your social media accounts. So go into settings and privacies and make your social media account only friends of friends can see what's going on. You can secure your LinkedIn, and your Instagram accounts as well. So do that so criminals can't take advantage of seeing how many friends you have. Make sure that you're changing your passwords for your social media accounts. And finally, make sure that you're focused on the friendship aspect of social media. True connections obviously occur in person, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're maintaining those connections and not being salesy online. Keep it cute, keep it fun, keep it entertaining, but rock it out this year in 2023 when it comes to your social media. Stay safe and set the foundations for strong relationships. With that said, that's me, Burton Kelso, the technology expert. So connect with me, I'm everywhere on social media, even TikTok, and Snap. I don't think I have a Snap up there, so I appreciate the opportunity. Are there any questions that you may have?